Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Hey, thanks for joining. It's Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. You know what? What's it cost when you get in an accident and you have to be transported by ambulance to the hospital and then receive treatment? We're going to go through exactly what happened to our neighbor and the full cost. All right? So let's talk about it.
Why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay. So, if you didn't see the video about our neighbor, Arlen found him in the hallway, could barely walk, propping himself up on the side of the wall. Just to make a long story short, he was in a motorcycle accident. He drives a big bike, a big Kawasaki, all right? And it's tricked out a little bit as well. A pickup truck performed a U-turn from the right-hand oncoming lane across 4 lanes of traffic right in front of him. And I was mistaken. He didn't hit the pickup. He dodged, hit the curb, laid it down, and then got thrown off. All right? He avoided the pickup truck. Now, that happened actually out by Clark Hospital. He was on his way home, and he admits it wasn't going slow. He figures he hit the curb at about 60 kilometers an hour. All right, so Arlen found him in the hallway. We assessed him. I did a quick triage. All right, I said, no, dude, you got to go to the hospital. All right. Ambulance gets here. We got him loaded up, got him off to the hospital. He sent us a text message about 6-8 hours later. Thank you. I'm okay. Talk to you when I get discharged. All right. Now, he's a bit of a stubborn guy. All right. Going to give you that. He discharged within right at 24 hours. AMA, against medical advice. What was the full diagnosis? Well, first off, what happened? So he has the ambulance transport, and it was not a cardiac advanced life support, ALS, equipped ambulance. I mean, you know, best you're going to get from them is a stretcher, a neck brace, tourniquet, some gauze, whatever. They're not going to put an IV bag on you or anything. 10 minutes to the hospital. All right. Although they did get here very quickly. Very quickly. At the hospital, he ended up with multiple x-rays. He was kind of out of it. He said, I didn't need it. I knew there wasn't anything wrong with my leg, but they x-rayed his legs. They did a full body CAT scan on him. We call neck to nut, which is right here from the sternal notch down to the symphysis pubis. So full body CT scan without contrast. Okay. Multiple x-rays. They put him on oxygen, which is, you know, I said, I'm almost positive, you know, just looking at his symptoms that he had a pneumothorax. Turns out he did have a pneumothorax. He had 3 fractured ribs. Okay. Not broke, but fractured. So in other words, they were still in one piece. His pneumothorax was caused from the impact. And so the pneumothorax is the area between the outer organ of the lung and the inner lung itself, which is kind of like in a encasing. All right, there's a lining there, and if you get air in that, it puts pressure on the lung and deflates it. So that's what happened. Okay, it was small enough that it didn't need to be tapped, all right, to drain the air out to let it resolve itself. So, medications, ambulance, CAT scan, x-rays, blood work, okay? Pain relievers, medications. I'm trying to think, that was okay, monitoring and everything else. 150,000 pesos. Now, if you're here on a budget, for a lot of people that are here on just Social Security, you wiped out your entire Social Security check plus for the month. All right. And, I don't know what else to say other than the fact that you're going to get, this was not a bad accident. And when I say not bad, I mean, yeah, it was very painful, and yeah, it was debilitating, and yeah, it had all these other things, and it had implications. But the point is he didn't have to have, surgery for a ruptured spleen or torn liver, okay? He didn't have to have an artery stitched back together because he tore something like that. He didn't have any broken major bones or commutated fractures or compound fractures, okay? He didn't have any of that stuff. I mean, quite literally, you could end up something similar to this just by taking a nasty fall. I don't know how else to impress upon you. You've got to be prepared. 150,000 pesos, 24 hours in the hospital. That was it. They wanted to hold him for 2 more days. He said, nope, I'm out of here. Write me a prescription for the pain. He came over yesterday. He looks great. He said, yeah, I'm a little high, but, I'm not in pain. He's not moving that arm to the side of his fractures, okay? He's not moving that much. It's very, very stable. He's bruised, obviously, all right? But he cleaned up well, presented well, looked like a normal guy. He's walking, talking, laughing, sat down with me and Arlene and went through everything. And so it just goes to show you've got to be ready for when something like this happens. You've got to be prepared. You've got to have the funds to do it. Now, here's the interesting part. It would have been more if he had used his credit card. Okay? It would have been more because they would have tacked on 5%, I think is what he said. He paid cash. He, had it sitting around in his room or whatever, had his girlfriend go to his place, pick it up, bring it over, and he paid cash. So, and there was no additional discount. Now, here's the other thing I found interesting. The cost of the ambulance was included in the hospital bill. So it's kind of like, I wonder, does the hospital have a deal with the ambulance companies? They get a kickback. So are they getting paid by the hospital, and the hospital tax cost plus into your hospital bill as well? Now, obviously by U.S. standards, all right, and I have no idea what emergency medicine costs in the U.K. or many other countries, but by U.S. standards, that was cheap. By Philippine standards, he was at Clark Medical Center, which is a private hospital. All right, it's the best hospital in Angeles as far as I'm concerned. And so it's a little bit more expensive. Would it have been cheaper at the public hospital? Sure, maybe. I don't know. All right. I mean, people mark up medicine like there's no end to tomorrow. So the point is, be prepared. Understand how quickly that can ruin your day. Maybe the other point is you ought not be driving a motorcycle around, but everybody does. I used in the U.S. I've had bikes all my life in the U.S. So, I guess I really couldn't say anything there. But in the comments below, tell us, what do you think about that cost? And have you been hospitalized on emergent services? And what did it cost you? Okay. Will he get reimbursed by his insurance? No. His insurance will not cover him outside of Canada. All right. So tell us about your experience. People would like to know that are watching this to understand what other options they may have. Otherwise, thanks so much. Have a great day.